The winner will be facing off against Fnatic. The loser will be facing off against H2K. Championship points are on the line, as well as that spot at the Mid-Season Invitational. And Kikis is debuting his jungle Gnar in the deciding battle against SK. Another team comp that cannot afford to make mistakes early or mid. UoL have to fix the problems they had earlier.
I want to see if SK is confident enough taking the 2v2 lane. I mean, Lulu is one of the best supports in the early levels. It's like 1 to 3 in terms of the damage she does provide. And you also get that Shyvana into Maokai lane top, which they obviously want for Freddy here. It looks like they are swapping on the top side. That's what we talked about in Champ Select. What you can do. So now you have double smite to double jungle. Either you start on your own camp or you just run together and you try and clear as fast as possible. And once you go down in the 1v2 lane, you have your range from the E of Shyvana, and you got the smite as well to pick up at least some of the important CS, the cannon minions and so on for Freddy. So we will get the lane swap. I think this is the smartest and safest idea for SK. No reason to try and take the 2v2 into a Caitlyn Annie.
Well, we'll find out how it works out and who's going to be able to get that early pressure onto the towers. Forgiven and Enrated going to have a lot of pushing power. Probably just a little more than Hylissang Vardegs. However, if the junglers come to help out, quite like Mini Nar's ranged auto attacks to keep tower pressure. So, Forgiven and Enrated, they're on the Gromp. I think we'll be heading top lane. There's a Chachi chilling by the Wolf Camp. We'll see when he decides to head to lane. And it looks like Freddy is holding Svenskjæren's hand for the time being.
Yeah. And this also makes it a little bit harder for Svenskjæren to have a lot of early ganking power, because often in these lane swaps he has a jungler. Either you go to one lane to deny farm and push in a tower, or you go down to help your own top lane and farm on the other side. Obviously not the best in that case with Rek'Sai. So only really one lane Svenskjæren would be able to gank. That's going to be the mid lane. Therefore Unicorns of Love should be able to expect this one and play around him. So they do try and nullify his early game a little bit. We're obviously going to swap back to standard lanes once these towers have gone down in the side lanes. We're going to have to see then. They're going to go for an early dive on Freddy with the TP from Vizicsacsi as well.
This is a lot of commitment here. Ignite burned. They're chasing very, very far. Unable to get the kill. Actually, it was just the Ignite, so no flashes burned for that one.
But that was a TP from Vizicsacsi, so he's not going to get any farm up in the top lane. You know SK Gaming will always push the lane. So the other play Unicorns could have made was they would have done a lot faster jungle route with Kikis on the bottom side of the map, and he would have gone down here once Freddy showed up, and they would 3v1 just push him away. And then Vizicsacsi could have tried to pick up some farm on the top lane for himself, or at least get some XP, but instead they use him as the guy going for that early gank. Freddy has been denied all the farm. Unicorns now just need all these minions to die perfectly, and then you want to see if you can get the minions grouped and just hit your first minion so it slowly starts pushing towards you and you deny more farm from Freddy. SK, of course, going to mirror and do exactly the same.
Well, I guess there is a little bit of a solace in the fact that Freddy being forced out of lane means that he is almost equally denied as Vizicsacsi. Towers are applied back and forth as Kikis gets control of the bottom crab. We do see Svenskjæren, or rather SK, were able to secure the top crab. And we'll keep a close eye on this jungle Gnar. I do like the fact that he's got a fair amount of AoE when he gets into Mega Gnar, and of course the percentage damage in his W in Mini Gnar. So clear speed keeping up with Rek'Sai thus far.
Yeah, he won't be able to keep doing that. Seeing also due to the fact he's relying on that Mega Gnar. For him to have the same kind of Rek'Sai is still one of the fastest junglers. So Svenskjæren in that case, if they just have a farm fest, should get the best of it. But then you obviously have to talk about the scaling. Gnar is going to build Cinderhole, can become a big tank in the late game where Rek'Sai is going to fall off, both in terms of a damage and a tankiness, because she's building the Warrior Enchant. Normally here in Europe at least, we have seen Cinderhole in some of the other regions from her. Knowing Svenskjæren, he will aim for the Warrior one. And once we swap back to the standard lanes, he's going to start looking for the ganks. He's once again near the mid lane. Wave is pushing, so Power Weaver might have to overextend if you want to push it all the way into the tower. And that opens up for Svenskjæren to force a flash at least.
Look at Hylissang. He was hanging out by Raptor Vigs, but has decided to back away, and we do see Power of Evil's also backed away from that mid lane, so not going to overextend further than he needs to. Fox doing a good job in the lane, still holding onto a potion, and Svenskeren with the numbers advantage down bottom. He's going to call in some support, and this will be a very, very early dragon. If there is any team that is capable of going for a 5-dragon victory with a team comp that will be more powerful at an earlier time, it's going to be SK.
I'm very surprised Unicorns decided to put Vardax in the top lane to pick up the big wave that was pushing down. SK Gaming didn't try and freeze the wave up top, didn't try and bounce it on the tower, they just pushed it all the way down. So Visichachi could have walked into that lane, sat with the freeze that Vardax is sitting with now, and picked up all the farm. By him being bottom lane, you give up all your lane pressure completely. He's not going to be able to hold off this tower if Forgiven and Enraged just keep pushing it down. He doesn't have the wave play to do it. You wanted your Caitlyn and Annie to be in the 2v2 lane from the get-go. And once you had the chance to swap down and go for it, you didn't. There was a small XP lead for Forgiven because there were only 2 guys pushing the tower top with 3 from the Unicorns bottom lane. But you basically put your Caitlyn to build up a big wave, not use her strong early game, not deny any damage that SK can do on this tower. And obviously Freddy's just going to return up and pick up the wave because it's a one-on-one lane anyway. He's not really afraid of Caitlyn here. He's going to get all the farm. And SK is also going to get the damage on top tower, or on the bottom tower.
One of the big things you kept talking about at the Intel Extreme Masters Championships in Katowice was the fact that Freddy was denied multiple waves by intelligent lane swaps, and it was a very big determining factor in controlling Freddy's impact in the mid game. This is not what the Unicorns have done, and we'll see if it comes back to hurt them. It is still even footing with Freddy. Teleport will be available with Visichachi in a moment or two, even on CS, even on levels. The one thing I want to highlight is the fact that Vardax, Hylissang, and that early tower play from Unicorns. Oh, that's going to follow. Oh. Good try, observers. I think the fact that Unicorns went for that very early tower play has actually put Vardax behind on CS. And I think Unicorns are going to give up first blood. Svenskeren has done it again. Tower shots are out. The exhaust is ticking away. Kikis is trying to get one in reply. He will manage to kill Secure, but now Fox is trying to get one up.
Oh,
the
nice
stun
stun
from Hylissang should be enough to save Kikis. It looks like it is. Ignite will tick away. It's
such an
2
important play.
for 1 as Hylissang is able to roam.
And we saw the same plays here from Svenskeren early game. Rek'Sai this time around got the first blood for them, but then Hylissang with the roam, as you just talked about here. And with the play Unicorns made beforehand, the only thing they really lost was some damage on the bot lane tower by pushing it in. Chachi gonna follow Freddy, who already took a red buff. He pushed in the wave here.
They're chasing a burnout. That's a flash. Arcane smash to slow. Kikis has just turned back into mini Gnar. Boomerang does not connect. That slow may have been needed. We do see the root coming in. Kikis is trying to get some auto attacks down, looking to get hyper. This Boomerang does connect. Chachi continues to chase. There's a red buff available. Arcane smash will get it. One more hit. Kikis gets the kill. And I lied.
Chachi gets it.
Chachi gets the kill with a touchdown sapling. And all of a sudden, Unicorns of Love 301. Official, we've seen this movie before twice.
Yes.
And both times, the end credits is SK Gaming celebrating a killed Nexus. Let's see whether or not the third episode in today's series will turn out differently. Hylissang trying to defend that pink ward. We do see Vardax. Oh, he's almost going to get killed by the Grump. It's a pretty scary Toad.
Vardax is in such a bad spot as a Caitlyn play. If you don't get to use your early power to get a CS lead and be a bit of a bully, then you enter this mid-game phase where you're one of the weakest AD carries and you need so much time before you're going to be useful. You need to hit 3 items before you start having a big impact on the game. Corki's obviously going to hit that fantastic mid-game instead. So by, first of all, Unicorns fast pushing the bottom lane tower, by the fact it was a lane swap, I guess we can say, first of all, and then sending Vardax to the top lane and like solo pushing a wave instead of getting the 2v2 on the bottom side. He's not been able to use his early game on Caitlyn. This tower has been taking a lot of damage. Ever since Visichachi was down, he is now taken by SK Gaming. So this 2v2 lane, with the way Unicorns decide to play the swap, has gone in favor of SK.
If you ever needed more proof, Hylissang is a big reason as to why Vardax does well in lane. 10 minutes on the clock, 56 CS to 97. Let's also be fair,
This is
Unicorns
also the-
dove. They did forego a lot of free farming.
Yes, but this is also the strategy they pulled off.
Yeah.
Like, it's not Vardak saying, I'm going to go top. I'm not going to listen to anyone. Like, that was obviously Unicorns as a team saying, okay, you go top, you push out the wave. And Forgiven just picked up a lot of extra farm. Never really been under any pressure on the Corki here. 100 CS nearly at 10 minutes. Trinity Force coming in fairly soon for him. And then you have this insane spike where Unicorns is going to take so much longer with double tank who needs to scale up with a Caitlyn.
Oh, I think Vizichachi's in trouble here. Despite the sapling, it's just going to be a simple cleanup. Kikis is too late to this party. Sven Skeren with one more Praise Seeker picks it up. Kikis, is he going to pick this fight once he goes Mega Gnar? That's the decision. He's about to transform. He's going to hop himself away. Not going to secure anything this time around. Fox with a well-timed roam, able to dissuade any sort of engage. And even Vardak's being bullied by the Rockets. Oh, Forgiven. Unicorns find themselves 2,000 gold down before the 15-minute mark.
And look at the timing of this here for SK Gaming. Bottom lane, no threat. There's no tower that can be pushed in, so they don't care about that wave. That's a dead lane for them at the moment. And instead, they put the bottom lane in the mid lane to push it up. So they have the pressure there. They force Power people to stay in the mid lane. And meanwhile, they just look for that gank top side where there was an overextended Maokai. And even do it timed correctly so Dragon spawns and they are in the right position to be on the bottom side now after the kill to be ready to fight for that Dragon.
Unicorns of Love are playing League of Legends in hard mode. SK have got a team comp that fits their exact preferences. At the very beginning of the day, Freddy made a quote saying, anybody who says our team has one playstyle is just looking for things to moan about. Let's be fair, the games you've won is when you play SK's playstyle. When they've picked scaling comps into late game, Unicorns played them like a fiddle. But when SK grab the reins, nobody can get it back.
When SK and Svenskern is on the early junglers.
I mean the Danish player, Deficio.
Danish player.
There's one guy in the audience. Woo!
Hey, I like that guy.
So, Dragon has been up for a little while. SK, I think, respecting the Gnar Maokai combo, not picking a fight yet, trying to get some poke down. And look at Freddy split.
Look at the
pushing
side
top.
lanes. SK doesn't have to do anything because they're going to get minions to push in on a tower in the bottom lane. If anyone shows from the Unicorns, then SK can go down and start the Dragon. Meanwhile, as we saw Freddy here, up in the top lane, pushing in that wave. So they're denying minions in two side lanes, and they're just waiting for Unicorns to move to one of the lanes, and then you start Dragon. That's all you have to do for SK here, because they set up the side waves beforehand. Really good setup for them. They have everything under control at the moment. And that Dragon just being...
Well,
just wait.
Just like clockwork, as Orianna shows in the bottom lane, SK Gaming secure their second Dragon at 13 minutes, 25 seconds. SK has won multiple games this split by getting that fifth Dragon and simply winning within 2 minutes of securing it, rushing down the base, winning a team fight, and saying GG no re. If they do that today, it will be GG no re, as SK will qualify for another spring split final. Remember, SK last year, in the finals against Fnatic, they won the regular split as they did this year, but then they just faltered to Fnatic in the best of fives. SK may be looking for revenge once more.
It's going to be quite a game, but it's not over yet for the Unicorns of Love in this situation here. We're still looking at SK Gaming. They're the ones who has to make the plays. They don't want to go full late game here by any means against the double tank, Orianna, Caitlyn, everything from the Unicorns of Love. But knowing SK Gaming, they don't really take any chances either, which has been the big difference between them and Gambit. If you look at the quarterfinal games for the Unicorns of Love, where they also picked slow scaling comps. Fell behind early, but then Gambit made some mistakes and Unicorns came back and used that to go to the late game. SK Gaming is a lot more calculated. It's a lot more about, you know, you push in the lanes 1-3-1 and you simply just take every single Dragon and use that. Let's see what happens here, though.
Svenskeren's going low. He's maybe been caught a little bit out of position. Chachi's TP'd in, jumped onto Freddy, who didn't even need to use that teleport. Unicorns of Love are forced away. Kikis is about to go Mega Gnar. He throws the chimney. SK unable to find a target. Wallop will stun Fox, but not able to get anything more. And SK were able to secure the teleport from Unicorns. I did not track who actually picked up that blue buff. But Unicorns, again, feeling the pressure.
Look at Power Eagle here.
The entire time. Here comes the Void Rush. Svenskeren looking for more. Does manage to force the flash away. Actually tried to flash in, rather. It was Fox looking for Power of Evil. Not managing to make it work.
Sven was joining as well. They're simply just controlling the side lanes here. You got the TP advantage. We're aiming for a kill, and meanwhile, well, mid lane, you got this Corki on a Trinity Force. Nothing is gonna stop him. Caitlyn didn't get to use her early game at all. Kikis on the Gnar.
Just being a little annoying.
We really see the playstyle from Kikis. During the split, there's a lot of Nidalees, a lot of early game junglers from him. And then ever since Cinderhulk came out, this is all he plays, Cinderhulk champions. Despite not looking at what SK Gaming has been doing in the jungle, kept going for the tanks. This is obviously a new one, the Gnar. But it's not one that's going to change anything in terms of what you can do early on.
Not feeling the Shaco today. However, Unicorns of Love need to prove that this jungle Gnar, as many of the teams like to call it, can work out. Yet to be impactful, but I think important to note, staying relevant on farm. Very similar itemization. Svenskeren with that kill, a couple extra towers is slightly ahead, but got the Cinderhulk, got that challenging smites, got some HP to play with, and all of the innate tankiness that Mega Gnar gives you.
Yeah.
I think if Kikis can, time a good Gnar into the wall, there is potential, but it's just so difficult. Like, every single champion is mobile on the SK squad. I don't see how Kikis is going to knock multiple people into a stun.
I just look at it and say, why not Sejuani? And you just throw the ulti instead. Somewhat of the same effect. I guess
because
you really want...
this is Europe, Fisher. We don't play Sejuani here.
Fair enough. I mean, it's pretty true. Yeah. If you look at the playoff games here, nobody's really wanted to play Sejuani.
I will dominate last night. Had fantastic ultimates.
Oh, Sejuani is so good.
Yeah.
One of the best junglers.
Battle Pig.
Anyhow, SK Gaming has been split pushing quite a bit. Now they've decided, let's try and make a play. We already pushed on every single lane. Power People just got to push down, or push back the bottom lane. SK Gaming doesn't see the opportunity to get one kill, so they can just go back 1-3-1. We start putting focus on that dragon. Look for Freddy to just push out this top lane once more if it gets pushed back, and then walk down to the dragon.
Well, we'll find out if SK play it out exactly as predicted. Fisher, you seem to have had a great read on the teams all day today. I doubt it will change. The tower does survive a lot of damage. Very few auto attacks landed. And Unicorns of Love doing the best they can to hold out. Take note of Power of Evil's build. It is different from the Oriannas we've seen today. Rod of Ages into the arm guard.
Nope.
Don't like it, apparently.
We've seen that before.
Tell me why.
Well, the thing is, you're an AP carry, and you're going to have 0 damage with this build here from him. You don't have any proper mana region either with it. With that going in,
Hylissang gets 3! Oh, it's a massive gnaw from Kikis. He knocks him into the wall, but all they get is enrated. What more can Unicorns do? They've got a kill. I lost it, but they did not get anything more. The reaction was phenomenal. Unfortunate for Unicorns, there's nothing else but defense. And I doubt they're going to get that opportunity again.
It was Flash Tibbers, Flash ulti from Kikis as well. Dragon spawning 20 seconds and Ready will be ready for it. Like the play though from the Unicorns, you saw Zed in the mid lane, so you knew there was a chance at least to start a fight. You obviously would have wanted all 3 of them and not just the support.
If anybody was sleeping, I definitely woke them up with that one. My bad. Unicorns, they managed to defend their top inner turret, and very importantly, Vardags and Chachi will secure their 2nd tower of the game as we get close to 20 minutes. Freddy is trying to run down Vardags. Vizichachi's going to root him in place. Vardags is going to land auto attack after auto attack, but here comes Enrated. Dragon secured by Svenskeren. Chachi's down. Now they're going to run down Vardags. If a Glitterlance connects, it's not even going to be needed. They get the tower, they lose the dragon, and...
Nice flash.
They lose Vardags.
SK
Gaming, 3 in trouble. Yeah, lose Vizichachi, sorry.
Meanwhile, Forgiven sitting and defending the mid lane. 3 dragons to 0, 20 minutes in. Not been the same amount of big fights early on. I mean, there's not a 7-0 Lee Sin.
Nope.
It's just been a lot slower game because SK is just looking to keep pushing in the lanes and get your towers down. instead of going for the kills. As we can see, Freddy getting some damage on the top tower. You're going to push up the bottom lane.
Hey, look, Freddy's backing. He's not staying greedy to put damage down. This is also an upgrade from previous games in the series where he has been greedy and been punished for it.
Very true. SK as well, investing into deep wards to try and spot what's going on to save Freddy before anything goes wrong. We're back in the split pushing style.
Look at the CS difference to Fisher. 50 CS in the mid lane, approaching 60, 70 CS in the bottom lane. Only just finished that Infinity Edge for Vardags in comparison to the Cutlass and Triforce and Sork Shoes. Forgiven is on another level of damage at this stage in the game.
Yeah, Blade of the Ruined King on Corki is a change we've seen from a lot of the players. Because you're against these big tanks here, you're going to need that Blade to take them down. Just to go back to Power Vivo's build, we didn't talk too much about it. I mean, the Rod of Ages into Hourglass. The problem with it is it takes such a long time for you to scale up now. Because you're going to need a Death Cap, you're going to need a Void Staff before you start doing any serious damage at all. You don't run any mana regen in this build either. So if long team fights, you're going to struggle as well. And we've seen Froggen build this, which really didn't work for him because it just allowed SK to ignore him in the early to mid game, play around him instead.
Well, one thing does need to be said of the Unicorns of Love. By 22 minutes in both of their losses this series, they had lost the game. They were so far behind. Yes, they are still down. However, it is not as far down. The bigger concern for me is not the towers or the gold, it's the dragon counter.
It is, and it's why SK Gaming wants to get the early dragon, so they know, okay, we might not be able to siege on your tower because we're running like a Z, so we can't really go 5 man and just take your tower in. We slowly split push, slowly chip them away, and then we keep having that dragon, which is going to be that ticking time bomb where we're going to force you to come and fight us at some point. Or I should give it over to us, then we take a Baron as well after that, and then we close out the game. So Unicorns, while they are not as far behind, they're trying a flash play on Forgiven.
Sang's got Forgiven, but the Tibbers does not. Forgiven's able to get himself away. Now Fox is trying to flank. Here comes Power Beaver from behind. Unicorns are split. Tibbers has already been used. Chachi's teleported in. Here comes Svenskeren and Freddy. Fox is throwing down the Deathlock. Vardags is down. Without the damage, I doubt UoL can win this fight. Shockwave is already used. They've traded 1-for-1 in the fight. And I think Unicorns of Love a little bit lucky to come away with that one. Chachi and Kick is trying to get back. They lost Fox. Forgiven still relatively healthy, got double buffs as well. The rest of Unicorns are actually going to try the siege up. Minions should be cleared very, very quickly. Hillisang gets the stun on Freddy. Minions are now cleared away. And SK Gaming thinking about a re-engage. Forgiven takes so much damage from the attack in the distance. Kickus is about to turn. He's got no flash available. Keep that in mind. And Svenskeren still waiting in the wings. So at the end of the day, 1-for-1. Unicorns continue to fall behind in gold, but an even trade in the team fight to Fisher.
Best they could hope for, and also they got to stop all the lanes from being pushed, so now they can return to them and pick up all the farm. That's the big deal here for Unicorns of Love. Whenever they force a team fight, if they get SK Gaming to leave the side lanes and join the fight, and then go even, Unicorns can return to the side lanes and now pick up all the farm that's already been pushed down. That's going to be the big deal for them. Let's see the fight itself. It was first Hillisang going in, stunning Forgiven, then Tippers came in after and TP. So they're trying to force the fight here. SK decided to not take the side lanes, but instead aim to fight them because they have this Corki, which is so good in the mid game compared to the Caitlyn. So they think they can get more from joining the fight than just taking the outer turrets. Start is good. Shockwave on the tanks from Power Vivo. Get the kill from Vardags, and now just chasing on and getting caught a little bit under the tower, which was still alive for Unicorn. So SK calculating a little bit wrong here. Could have stayed and at least got on one of the outer turrets in the side lanes. Figured they could get more from the fight.
Well played by Fox to find Vardags, remove the AD carry from the fight, reduced any further potential that could have come from that. And Unicorns, they hold on to fight another day. 45 seconds until Dragon. It will be Dragon number 4. There is so little wiggle room for Unicorns of Love if they give that one up uncontested. But with no teleport on Vizichachi and no real vision control in this area of the map, you have to feel they're going to give this one up. It's so risky to be playing around here. Kikis has got a pretty good Mega Gnar timing though. if he can find a few auto attacks.
See what Power Weaver can do as well. As we mentioned, no mana regen 4, no cooldown reduction either when the Rod of Ages comes in first. So he has delayed his core items quite a lot by getting the Outlaws as well.
Chachi forced to join in lane because of the lack of teleport. Means Freddy keeps pushing.
Yeah, SK just needs to buy time. If Unicorns ever start the dragon, SK can decide to TP in and fight, or just let Freddy keep pushing on the top wave. Unicorns here have to be very decisive.
Well, there's the teleport. It's actually Vizichachi that jumps onto Svenska, and the rest of Unicorns of Love looking for an engage. Kikis gets turned into a Munchkin. He doesn't get to Gnaw. He's about to pop into Mini Gnaw. Now Freddy still has the option of Dragon's Descent in. The Shockwave does get two in the backline as Vizichachi re-engages. Svenska and Narrated are forced away, but it's Kikis the first victim. Now Power of Evil is being focused down by the Dragon Lady. Vardax way out of position. He's not going to be able to get too many auto attacks down, but Fox jumps into range. Both AD carries securing an extra kill this fight. 2 for 1. Dragon untouched, and Power of Evil, his survivability and tankability may be working out in this team fight.
Yeah, 2 for 1, but Unicorns of Love still fairly healthy if they want to try and take this dragon. Sven can recall and return with his ultis. There are any tunnels nearby. One has just been cleared now. The other one, I believe, is up here near Forgiven. He's going to come in. Let's see if he can stop it. He has to smite. Not in time. Very important dragon. Can Unicorns get out?
Well, they may be able to. 90 caliber over the wall. Hillesang is sacrificed to Forgiven. But so important. Plus 6 minutes.
Buys time, yeah.
Plus 6
Give
minutes.
6 more minutes for Unicorns to get to late game by getting that dragon.
And Deficio, we're 27 minutes in. SK have been on 3 towers to 2 for the last 12 minutes. It's been a long time since any towers have fallen. And that gold lead, yes, it is still growing,
sure,
but map control, map towers still standing.
But you have seen how SK thinks they can take the fights, and that's why they want to keep going for it instead of split pushing. Here again, you could have let Freddy stay top and take tower if you wanted to, but no. SK Gaming, they want to fight. They have the core key into Caitlyn. You got the Z as well before any QSS is being built. That's why they keep looking for them. It's a good ulti from Freddy. Gets denied pretty hard though. Shockwave from Power Weaver getting both Inbred and Sven. And now we can just see Zed goes in, no QSS this early in the game to stop his damage. And while SK managed to get 2 kills, Unicorns were healthy enough to take the dragon, which is the important one. And really SK, they showed they want to fight so badly. Every time they have a chance of taking a tower, they decide not to go fight. And it's not been paying off for them.
Well, Deficio, we've got a much, much closer game in the deciding matchup in this best of 5. Unicorns still falling behind, but not as drastically as their previous losses. Take a look at the itemization. Phantom Dancer finally completed for Vardax. Last Whisper, in fact, picked up for Forgiven. He really has to, or wants to, get through Vizichachi and Kikis. And we did see SK starting the Baron a moment or two ago. They've got a couple pinks, some vision in the top half of the map. Kikis is just exploring with those boomerangs, seeing if he can find a target. Does find Enrated.
Someone.
Does get turned into a little munchkin. Now we do see Fox. We do see the wallop come down. It's dodged by the Deathmark. Kikis gets the stun onto Fox, but there's no support. Teleport coming in from Chachi. Will he complete it? The answer is no. Kikis caught out. Enrated plus Fox gets a kill onto the smite of Unicorns of Love. Now Chachi could jump into this area. Let's see what Freddy can do. Remember, there's no Deathmark available. If a good Shockwave hits, I think that might be the only way. Freddy, Dragon's Descent into the river. Baron will be secured.
No
Stolen! It is stolen! Power of Evil has kept Unicorns in the semi-finals.
I can't believe that just happened.
They're
gonna get a mid tower as well, because everyone from SK Gaming is trying to recall on this side.
There are no words. How? There were 2 smites available. Yes, Freddy was in the river being chased away. With that steal, Unicorns of Love may have bought the time they need to close the gold gap. Remember, they are still down in this game. They are behind in Dragons, behind in kills, behind in gold. It was the Baron steal needed to keep their hopes alive.
Alright, so let's take a look. The Shockwave will do about 500 damage, while Smite will do 720 from Svenskern. He tries to ease Smite, Shockwave gets pulled, and there was no smite from Sven at all. Onto the Baron. Very clear he wanted the E from himself and then the smite after. To get as much damage as possible. That is so massive for Unicorns of Love.
Tofiscio, we break 30 minutes on the clock.
And a
massive minion wave in the top lane is going to allow Unicorns to secure the tower lead for the first time this game. If ever SK were to feel pressure, it is right here, right now. Being in control for so long. And it wasn't even a 50-50 Baron. There was no smite.
Yeah. We've given Sven so much praise for his games where SK Gaming won. Now, big mistake from him right here. Dragon, 1 minute and 20. That's going to be the next one for SK Gaming because you're starting to hit the point now where Unicorns of Love are strong enough to just sit and wave clear in these side lanes. And then even if you get a fight and SK is not ready, they can get instantly one-shot now.
I want to touch on the itemization. Last Whisper now for Vardags. Randuin's plus another Giant's Belt. Frozen Heart for Vizicsacsi. The tankiness is building. You already highlighted the Void Staff. It's a non-traditional Orianna build, but in the last Dragon fight, Power of Evil sustained a fair amount of damage.
That's the thing again. The only bad thing about it in this sense is that it delays your core build, your damage, but now with him getting the Void Staff, with him still being in the game, he can get a death cap as well. And then he's gonna have the same amount of damage. He's still gonna lack some, some mana regen. I guess he has extra mana from the Rod of Ages, but then he has no cooldown reduction either, which is one of the big deals for him. So he needs to make every single spell count. Mostly gonna impact due to the Shockwave cooldown for him, but still, Unicorns of Love has done everything they can to stay in the game. And SK Gaming's, I'm not going to call it greed, but the way they decided to say we want to fight because we can get more kills by fighting than we can get more gold from fighting and winning the fights than we can from taking these towers when Unicorns try to engage. And then trading 1 for 1, 1 for 2 every single time is why it hasn't paid off for them.
Well, keep note, Dragon is alive. Kikis's Mega Gnar transformation bar is slowly powering up. That boomerang, every time it connects, one more hit. Oh, Kikis is taking a lot of poke though. He's about to transform. Dragon's been pulled. Vardags is starting this one in the back line. This would be number 2 if it's secured. Svenskeren comes in. It's an auto attack from Vardags. Kikis is looking for the fight and Freddy is chasing down. That's a big Gnar. It manages to stun Forgiven on the back line. Freddy and Fox are on the front line. They found for Vardags. I think he's going down. He is down. They've managed to trade him for a mid lane though. And Freddy's running amok. The Shockwave catches Forgiven, but can Chachi keep him alive? Power of Evil continues to chase. There's no more mana for Corki as Kikis is dropped off screen. Hylissang is not in this fight. Now there's no cooldown reduction, which is what Tofiscio was talking about. Flash away from Vizicsacsi. It traded 2 for 1, but it's going to be much worse. Dragon secured by Unicorns of Love. Vizicacci's down. Power of Evil will be down. Hylissang is in full retreat. I feel it's a matter of time, although the stun might be able to save here. Svenskeren, that was a little unexpected. We don't see the Glitzerlance connecting. Svenskeren manages to get the knock up in Hylissang. Hylissang tries to turn around and iterated. Manages to catch another trap.
There we go.
4 for 1 plus Dragon, not over yet. That will be a delayed ace. Right, Dragon went to Unicorns. Forgiven is going to be pushing down multiple towers.
So some very, very key things. There's no QSS for Vardags yet, so the Zed can still jump him. Kikis.
He's in trouble now, I think.
Yeah.
Committing for this kill. All of the support from SK. That's transformed into Gnar, but is not going to have the ultimate cooldown available. This means Vardags and Chachi are left alone to defend. Gold lead increases to 7,000. Dragon timer again, plus 6 minutes. And here's a look at the fights.
Let's take a look. So Vardags, no defensive items yet. We know SK Gaming wants to jump him, and the rest, like the front line from Unicorns of Love, trying to keep the backline busy, but the big deal here is the Caitlyn is going to go down very early in the fight. There's nothing for it to do here, because you don't have that QSS, so Vardags dies, and that's a lot of damage from Unicorns. They're running a double damage threat. Only Orianna is left here for them. Meanwhile, Sven still has fairly good damage at this point of the game. And They can simply just out-sustain Unicorns of Love at this point, and in the end clean up all the kills.
Wow, we jump back to live, 35 minutes. The gold lead has grown. Top inner turret fell, bottom inner turret fell, and SK
There's the QSS. There it is.
regained control.
Just saw Vadak's recall, figured he had enough for it. That's gonna be so important for next fight. If Unicorns of Love manage to simply kite back when SK tries to engage in, then you can kite the Rek'Sai, you can kite the Shyvana, and you can make sure your two carries, one as an Hourglass, one as a QSS, doesn't die to the Z, and then suddenly you can win the fight. You saw how Forgiven trying his best, but he has to keep hitting these tanks. You invest all your mana as Corki. We have hit the point where you can't really take them down too fast yourself. So as long as Unicorns kite back and protect the two carries in the back, now they have the defensive items needed, then they should be able to win the fights. It's still not 100% in their favor, but it's going to help a whole lot compared to the last one.
We'll find out on the next installment of Big Team Fight Game 5 semi-final. Svenskeren clearing out the vision around Baron. The last time SK started that, Power of Evil stole the Baron buff with a shockwave. Unicorns of Love, I feel like they're posturing very aggressively. They seem to be trying to keep Unicorns down, and what I like is the adaptation from SK. Void Rush is available for Svenskeren, so he is the one pushing top. There's a tunnel network both above and below the middle lane, but Vizichachi is engaging. They're actually going to engage onto Freddy. Freddy's been able to get away. Void Rush comes in, it's Freddy that starts. Now we'll see how late can Svenskeren join the fight. Vardex gets caught by the QSS. We just see Fox gets burned by the exhaust, and the QSS was popped. Vizichachi, the front line is down. Shockwave catches 3, but it's simply not going to be enough. Vardex again is very, very low. Unicorns of Love have lost 1. The ace in the hole does absolutely nothing as it catches the behind the Dragon Lady. Unicorns of Love initiating a fight onto Freddy. You've got to question that decision. Power of Evil gets knocked up into the air. Command Protect will keep him alive. Kickus is on the bottom lane. SK is trying to peel away. Vardex, you're a little bit alone. This is quite scary. Prey Seeker catches. No one else from SK can jump onto him. Fox kills Kickus off screen. Once again, there is no smite. This time, there is no shockwave. Baron, number 2, game number 5. This looks safer. Can somebody else from the Unicorns do something magical? Baron, below half, it's being melted. They're not in range. 3,000. Big auto attack onto Forgiven. It crits. Hillisang, flash stuns. Here comes Chachi. He's caught Forgiven. Vardax is unable to get auto attacks. They've got them. Svenskeren's down. Forgiven is down. We see them. They continue chasing. Vardax is getting caught out. 2 for 0. There is no jungler. Top lane is low and there is no teleports. Unicorns of Love are setting up for Baron.
This game, man, is going completely insane. The Unicorns tried to engage on the big tank beforehand here. Ended up being caught out, and now the Baron, because SK started it, even though Chachi had that teleport ready. Let's see if they can come back in time.
Look at the side lane.
No ulti for Freddy at the moment.
Teleport's going to become up available so soon to Fischio. Deathmark is available. Freddy's there. Fox gets caught out. He's stunned. Shockwave goes down. He's going to throw out the Deathmark onto Hillisang. I don't think it'll be enough to kill him. Fox is now down. They're trying to focus on Freddy. He gets chain locked. Stunned into the wall. Freddy is down. Freddy is down 2 for 0.
Sven's going to go for the bottom lane. They're going to give the Baron, and he will try and take at least a tower down here. There's so many minions for SK Gaming.
We've seen split push Rek'Sai before, but this one will be successful. Unicorns of Love have gone to lose an inhibitor turret. They secure Baron. Now they turn onto Enrated. Enrated's trying to buy time for Svenskeren. Sven is about to secure the tower. It's down. Now he turns his attention to the inhibitor, but Kickus has managed to find him. Vardax caught up by Forgiven. Does he want to pick that fight? It does look like it because Vizichachi has jumped on him. Let's look at Forgiven. That's it. Is there ace in the hole? No, there's not. Summon a heal. The root. The auto attack. Forgiven's down once again. In two deaths in 5 minutes. Unicorns back in control. Actually, no, screw that. Unicorns are now in control.
Now they are. Dragon is alive. They can pick that one up. Sven against Hillisang here. Kick is flashing in. All right. That was great from the Unicorns of Love. Now they just need to take this Dragon, go back, spend some of your gold. There's 3k gold on Vardax. There is 3.5 on Power of Evil. You're in prime position. You're late game. You have everything you need to stop a Zed from killing you. Corki is gonna fall off. You're now gonna get a death cap on Orianna that was so needed because it's been so delayed with the build Power of Evil went for. It is here now.
Deficio, I love 5.6. I love semi-final best of fives, and I can only think to myself, are you not entertained? What a fantastic series. Unicorns of Love were down for 30 minutes of this game. A miracle Baron steal brings them back in. A ridiculous play onto the split push tank of Shyvana results in Unicorns regaining control. You could not write it better than that.
But it is not over yet, Trevor. SK Gaming here, if they manage to get in the backline, or if they manage to at least buy enough time to kill Vizichachi or Kikis in that front line, they can still win the fight. It's just getting so hard for them. And if you look at the two compositions, then SK should never be able to win anything at this point in the game. With fully completed items, close to at least for Unicorns of Love. Just needing one more for Power of Evil.
Tower number 5 falls. Look at the side lane. A massive minion wave is amassing in the top. Unicorns, can they buy enough time to make use of it? Bottom, I feel, is pushing against them. Unicorns are putting some damage onto this touch. Shockwave gets forgiven. They don't manage to take him out, but he's not available for the fight. Unicorns, can they commit to the objective? That is the question. They start hammering it down. Keep your eyes on Vardax. Freddy is trying to pull distraction. The Wallop gets onto Fox. Fox is looking for Vardax with the QSS plus the exhaust. Vardax survives. The pop is not enough. Now there's Sheepy chiming in from the back line. Forgiven's been able to heal. He's rejoined the team. Look at the minions in the top lane. Unicorns of Love continue to focus the objective. There are 2 mega ultra siege cannon minions on the turret. It's down. They're now on the inhibitor. They should be able to peel back as Baron times out. Top lane should be available. And the Unicorns are ahead in gold. The Unicorns have arrested control at 42.5 minutes. They're not done yet, Deficio, as they're on the top lane.
They're going to get more. 30 seconds here on the Z from SK Gaming. They're man down. And Unicorns are not done.
They're not done yet. They're re-engaging onto Freddy. Here comes Finn. He's knocked up Vizichachi and Kikis. Gets a 2-man wallop. Enrated and Freddy looking for more, but there's no Dragon's Descent. Kikis in Mega Gnar is going to start backing away. And the Unicorns of Love take absolute control. This is for a spot in the Spring Split Finals. And SK Gaming, oh, they're making a big play.
Get in here, but
Freddy's going for the inhibitor. The rest of SK, they're pushing. We may have a race on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. Vizichachi forced to cancel the recall. The rest of Unicorns are now low. Freddy has got the inhibitor. Super minions will start spawning a rated. Caught out by the Tibbers. Wild Growth will keep him up for a while or two longer. Take a look at the Nexus turrets. Freddy is focusing it down. The audience is waiting with bated breath. Teleport is being used to try and keep it alive. Kikis should go down. No, he survives!
The shield.
But Vardax is caught out. Rek'Sai was able to take him out. Kikis is low. He'll transform. Take a look at that. Now, Rek'Sai's going back. They're onto the Nexus turret. We've got a base fight race on our hands. Unicorns of Love might be out.
There are at least a lot of them dead now. 2 guys down here. Both Vardax and Kikis. 50 seconds. SK Gaming, they're trying to see if they can finish. Chachi clears all the minions.
Where's the rest of SK? Look at the mini-map. They're moving top. Exposed Rek'Sai on both sides. Inhibitor down middle for SK. Inhibitor down bottom for Unicorns of Love. Svenskeren and Freddy. Rather, Freddy and SK. Great decision to push the base of the Unicorns.
All right.
How on earth do you prepare for this scenario?
We reset again. The whole thing. Baron and Dragon coming up. The Dragon doesn't matter at this point at all because there's no 5th Dragon to be taken for either of the teams. Baron is going to be a big one for the Unicorns if they want to use it as a tool to potentially force a fight, or maybe SK Gaming can try and sneak it in. The thing is, Unicorns should still not be able to lose a fight. 5-on-5, out in the open, they should not be able to lose at this point. But as we can see here, there's a lot more things going on. Suddenly
things have happened.
You're TPing in the base and you're stopping the recalls and everything. And we're still also at the point where the death timers are so long that if you miss position, especially as a carry, you can lose the entire game for your team. And no comp can save that.
Is gone. No longer belongs to Unicorns. Keep in mind, with the previous play, it was SK that took back gold lead. It is a small solace, but it is an indicator who has slightly more combat power. The scaling is in favor with Unicorns. And the super minions are being dealt with. SK have pushed the waves out. 44 seconds for Baron, 40 seconds for Dragon. It is not Dragon number 5. Baron has to be the more important targets.
100% sure. SK trying to set up some vision control around it, but quickly getting denied, and they're not strong enough to just force the Unicorns out of their jungle here, so they should be able to get some defensive wards down. SK back to some sort of split pushing. They might want to try and force a 5 versus 4 team fight, where you then have one guy going for the Nexus on his own. There's no TP for the Unicorns of Love to get back and defend in time. There's no Rek'Sai ulti either for them. Could be the option for SK.
The tension is palpable. SK will secure an uncontested Dragon. Vardax is left to defend the base. Fox pushing out the minion wave. The rest of Unicorns, very defensive positioning. Notice Kikis just went Mega Gnar. If SK were to rush Baron, that could be impactful. And it looks like they are going Baron. Yeah. Vardax will take a long time to get there. This is scary.
It's the best possible inhib that's down for them. Oh, they're gonna find him.
Can they kill him? They've got Fox, but will they lose Baron? Fox QSS's. Hylissang continues to chase. Power of Evil's looking for the dissonance speed up. Fox has pulled 3 members. It's all on Vizicachi and Kikis. There are flashes available, but are they going to go in? I think they're giving this one up. SK Gaming have taken Baron.
All right, so what Unicorns did right here was try and buy time for that inhibitor to respawn. They didn't care about SK getting Baron. By getting that 1 kill, you stop SK from pushing. Because yes, Baron buff is fantastic, but this late in the game, you're not going to go in 4v5 anyway. So they sacrificed Baron to get a kill, so this inhibitor should respawn in time for when SK comes back, and then they take the fight.
If there is
possibly against a Baron buff team, but still with your comp in the late game.
I'm gonna say something a little abstract here, Divisio. If there was ever a team that won or was involved in backdoor Nexuses, it would be Fnatic as number 1. If there was ever a team that lost to backdoor Nexuses more than anyone else, I'd argue SK might be up there on that list.
Yeah, possibly at least.
And all of a sudden, it's SK with Baron and 1 Nexus turret between them and Unicorn's Nexus. 1 turret between SK and a spot in the Spring Split Finals. The Unicorns, 5 seconds left before Fox respawns.
So gotta go push out that bottom lane for them to make sure there's no way that Freddy can TP in the base and try and finish up the game if Unicorns move out of it. So now inhibitors respawn. They got what they wanted. They got the 1 kill, waited it out, didn't have to risk it because it's so tough when the bottom lane inhibitor is the one that's down and a Baron is up, because you have to travel so far to stop it. And there was no TP as well at that time for Vizicachi. So they made the decision. Can they get that 5-on-5 team fight they want? Or will SK try and split push their way to the win?
Let's watch Kikis' Rage Bar and Fox's positioning. QSS is up, Ignite is up. Everything is available for both Fox and Vardax. Vardax left. We do see the Righteous Glory coming in. Unicorns looking for an engage. Hylissang is not deciding to flash. Fox should be able to get some damage. He's actually backed away. Guardian Angel was completed for Power of Evil. Keep that in mind if a fight breaks up. Boomerang will get the slow. Big chunk.
Very good ulti from Vardax.
Ace in the hole. It's really difficult ulti. We do see the flash engage from Hylissang, but it's only on Defense Gear, and I don't know if it's enough. Wild Growth onto Freddy. He's not used Dragon's Descent yet, as Kikis is about to turn Mega Gnar. Needs 1 or 2 more hits.
The inhibitor here.
He's on the back line. He's going onto the inhibitor. It's the objectives that win the games. Mega Gnar is available, and Fox is pulling all of Unicorn's attention. 3,000 gold difference. Vardax left to defend. The rest of Unicorns are the mid inhibitor turrets.
As long as they keep SK here, it's fine for the Unicorns of Love. They're waiting for that 1 opening.
Well, not going to find it.
Given is out of mana, so SK has to back away now.
Oh, that's a flash boomerang from Kikis. He's trying to take advantage of the fact that Forgiven is not there and SK are split. Where is Chachi? Teleport is available. Void Rush is going top lane. SK are peeling away. Baron has worn off.
Yeah, and this means now for Unicorns of Love, they can push out that bottom lane and they can go 5 together near the mid lane. And SK Gaming cannot go for the back door then. They have to sit and defend, and then we get the 5-on-5.
Is there a flash here from Chachi? There is a flash. Ace in the hole comes out. The root does get instantly QSS. The rest of Unicorns, they're chasing. Power of Evil is trying to cut him off, and I think he's going to make it. Take a look in the top lane. Always look at the minimap. Svenskeren is trying to push on the side. Unicorns of Love, they're continuing to chase. Enrated has found Fox. He's no longer in kill threat. Somebody needs to back
place to
deal with
Chachi here. He might get stopped, and then Sven moves all the way in to the base. Everyone from Unicorns decides to recall here. Dragon is now a thing for SK Gaming with number 5. Let's see what's going on. Back in the base.
It could all come down to one more Dragon.
Could do. I mean, it's going to be one more team fight. Or it's going to be one guy split pushing for SK Gaming. You got Teleport, you got a Zed, you got a Rek'Sai. There are a lot of ways for you to decide the game on your own with that one Nexus turret, but it does require some minions to join you. So as long as Unicorns of Love pay attention to the side lanes and push them out before they make any plays, SK Gaming shouldn't have an opening to get in that base here and go for the back door. Who needs boots late game? We need 100% crit rate instead on our Caitlyn.
Double Phantom Dancer. Who loves pink? Bardags. There is so much pressure on him. Kikis gets caught by a little bit of poke here.
Let's make it 90%. But it's going to be close to 100.
Let's round it up. We'll round it up. We'll round it up.
All right, I'll give you that one.
GA, again, still available from Power of Evil. I would have loved to have seen a banner of command from Hylissang help control those side lanes, because SK have had much better side lane management. That was a Locket activation from Hylissang, maybe expecting more. Teleport coming in from Vizichachi as Kickers is getting close to Mega Gnar. Chachi's coming in with home guards, looking for a target. Does not get one, and that's Teleport down. That is so important when you have an exposed Nexus.
But look at the side lanes here. Nothing for SK to take into the base. Unicorns want to fight for this Dragon here and say, SK Gaming, if you want it, you're going to come 5-on-5. Going for Sven.
Oh, he's dropped so low. Wild Growth keeps him up. Freddy's trying to get in the back line. Bardags is there.
The Shockwave
gets onto Fox, but now Fox throws down the Death Moth. He's the first one to fall. They're going to get Freddy next. I think they've done it. Unicorns of Love are turning out to Enrated. They've got Forgiven.
That's it.
SK Gaming. The Unicorns of Love prove that Unicorns do exist. They are going to Madrid to face Fnatic.
And they did everything. Shockwave to steal a Baron, kept defending against SK Gaming, got the last 5-on-5 team fight.
In their rookie split, Unicorns of Love unseat SK Gaming. They win the 50-minute fight. And they go on to face Fnatic.